Hey guys, welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So this is your weekly reading for February 22nd through the 27th. Yes. I've been gone for a few weeks, so thank you so much for your patience and your support of this channel. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe so you can be the first to know for upcoming videos. And we're going to talk about overall energy this week, what to kind of keep in the forefront of your mind, what's going to go on, possibly actions, advice, possible obstacles, and then what's happening in your money, love, career, and then things that we need to focus on possibly in the communication zone, okay? So let's just go ahead and pull some cards. Okay. All right. Five of Wands is the overall energy this week. Now, this really means there can be some inner battles that are going on, just some conflict overall this week. And what I would say is that this is a reminder to kind of stay out of unnecessary arguments or conflict. Meaning that this week tensions might be a little bit higher, just overall. It could be just in the home, in the workplace. And so what could be a good idea is that if you find yourself starting to get pulled into unnecessary drama or arguments, this would be the time to just kind of take a step back and walk away, because what will happen if you get pulled into this? Number one, your energy can be drained, but two, it's almost like this is unnecessary conflict and bickering and things that are just really not necessary. A lot of times when the Five of Wands comes out, this is more of like being territorial over something, and this is really arguing or fighting because of ego more than anything. So what I would tell you is this week, get your facts. Don't necessarily assume and become confrontational if you don't have the facts. And if you feel someone's pulling you into something like that, take a step back, because this week your best served interests are going to be when you're calm and you can make decisions with a clear head rather than ego or being reactive, okay? So what I'll tell you is that this week, possible actions, advice, you might be having to make a decision here. Two of Wands. This can be something in the communication zone. Maybe you're making a decision to cut communication off from someone, or possibly deciding to communicate. Now, this doesn't have to be just romantic. It can be in any type of area where maybe you have to write something to your boss, or you have to give a resignation, or that you are, looking for other employment, whatever the case is. But this week, you are going to be making some pretty hard decisions. And it could mean, this is really being at a junked in the road where you have to either go right or left, or in this case, this would be left and this would be right. Sorry. But this is, what I'm going to tell you is that whatever path you take, you're going to end up on the path that you're meant to be on, whether it's learning a lesson, having more experiences, gaining more insight, learning more about yourself, or it's actually the right path to get you where you want to go. But all I can tell you is that what I'm hearing is look forward. This is not the time to go backwards, okay? And another thing too is that we're slowly we're out of a retrograde, so now things are starting to kind of shift and energy starting to push forward, which is fabulous. So communication shouldn't be, as delayed. Travel probably won't be delayed. We won't see as many technology issues. So what I'm going to tell you is that if it's a hard decision to make, I would tell you to keep looking forward. Okay, that's what spirits keep saying. Forward looking, forward thinking, next steps, but moving forward. Now, possible obstacles. You got Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is really having it's fast action, fast energy, forward movement. So what I'm going to tell you, and forward seems to be a key word this week. What I'll say is that you may not be given a lot of time to make this decision. That's what could be tough. And so you're going to have to trust your gut, but no matter what, you're going to have to take action. You may just not be given a lot of time to actually sit back and think and weigh the pros and cons and storyboard and write lists. You might actually have to be on the spot, make a decision like, hey, are you going to take this job or no? Or we want you to move up to a different role, yes or no? Or, we're not giving you this raise. Are you going to stay or you're going to go? Whatever the case is, you might actually have to make some pretty tough decisions. Another thing too is that I don't know why Spirit wants me to say this, but for some of you, this week you're coming to kind of a crossroads where you fought tooth and nail to get kind of where you are in life. And I feel like this is more job and career. And for some of you, maybe you are getting headhunted, meaning that somebody's seeking you out for another job or position for employment. And you're going to have to make a decision. You know, do I stay where I've really fought tooth and nail to be where I'm at, but is it meant for me long term? Whatever the case is, you're going to be really forced, your hand's going to be forced to make a decision quickly because you're not giving a lot of time. That's just, I'm sorry to, if you're going through that, let me know, leave a comment, but you're going to be forced to make a decision here. So in money, we got 7 of Wands. So a lot of Wands energy this week, a lot of Wands energy. So a lot of fire energy this week, meaning you're going to have to make, and I feel like that's really because we're out of a retrograde that everyone's like rearing to go. Okay. 7 of Wands with your money zone. This is really telling you to be a little bit more conservative with your money. Conservative as in cautious, not overly spending. Kind of tighten up the wallet this week. This would be more about looking, you know, spending wants versus needs. And what I'll tell you, this is not the time to be frivolous this week with money. The 7 of Wands is really kind of putting yourself in a position to control your spending habits and curb those unnecessary habits. Meaning that, are you spending money? Are you buying things because it's going to make you feel good? If that's the case, what is the core root issue of that? Is it because there's a void that you're trying to fill, or is it really a need, or is it a bill or something like that? Like those things I get. But this could mean that you're just like, you've been itching to spend some money. Well, this week I'd probably say don't do that. Keep a tighter hand on your wallet, okay? Love. Excuse me. I'm going to get my shit together. Sorry about that. Page of Wands for love. So, singles, if you guys just met someone or you're putting yourself back out there, you might actually meet someone who, you know, does catch your interest a little bit. They might have this charisma, you know, they have this kind of je ne sais quoi, this it factor, you know, they catch your eye, and they've got, you know, they got a really good sense of humor. They're funny, and they're charming, and it's hard to kind of take your attention away from them. Now, I would say because it's a page, this is slow. This is the beginning of something possibly. So learn about this person, get to know them, hang out if you can. I know we're in a pandemic, so be cautious, but this is, you know, kind of very flirty energy, very exciting if you're just entered into something new. If you guys have been coupled for a while, this could, for some of you, could be just like finding that little fire back. You know, you're kind of putting zest in the relationship, teasing and flirting and leaving little kinky notes around the house. Whatever the case is, you're starting to do things that kind of are just like fun, and you're putting fun back in the relationship, okay? Career, we got Temperance. Temperance for career. Okay, so this, there's a couple messages here for career. One, Temperance is all about, you know, health too, you know, balancing, but health and wellness. This can be asking you that you're being asked to put a little bit more work-life balance into play, meaning that you've been going headstrong on a project or at work where you haven't maybe been sleeping that well or eating that great or carving out time to go work out, even if it's something small like going walking. This is the time to kind of recalibrate and put yourself first as a priority, okay? Now, this can also mean that you are going to be taking on a more at work, and you do need to prioritize and balance things out. This could be a sign that you do need to delegate work as well and not carry all the weight. But what I'm going to tell you is that this is the time to start to balance things out and prioritize, because there could be tasks on your plate that ultimately, even though yes, you can do them, and I'm not saying that they're beneath you, but it's almost as if your time could be better spent on higher priority tasks. And there could be so many small things that are adding up to bigger things that are taking your attention away from really priority work or clients or whatever the case is. So I would tell you that if you're kind of running on empty and you're starting to roll on fumes because you're overloaded, take a step back and start to, take some things off your plate or ask for that, because you are important and your health and wellness is important. So you need to put yourself first. Okay. Communication zone. We got 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So what I'm going to say about this is that this week, you might find that there's a lot of communication. It's almost like a lot of people are saying a lot of things, but they're not really saying anything. Meaning that there's a lot of talk, but no substance. And what I'm going to tell you this week, I would get to the root of it. I'd be professional, of course. And this could be in any area of your life, personal or professional. But what I'm going to tell you is that this is the time to really listen to what people are saying, and does it fall in line to what they're doing? Okay? So are their words and actions in sync? And this may not be, a huge, it's not, I'm not saying you're going to catch someone in a lie or anything like that. Some of you may, but this is more paying attention to what people say and do. And this goes for you as well. This week, this is asking you also to be very upfront. Don't commit to something and say something, and then later that you're going to have to backtrack, or you can't really commit. This is also making sure that you're saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Okay, this is not the week to BS people. And I'm just saying that because I know a lot of times, like, maybe you want to be kind of skirt around the truth to not hurt anyone's feelings. I would say this week, I'm not telling you to be blunt and hurt anyone, but you might need to be a little bit more direct this week, because people, if you leave room for assumption, people are going to assume whatever, because you're not being direct and saying to them what you need, what you want, how you feel, what you need changed. Okay? So I gotta tell you, this week, a lot of fiery energy, a lot of things going on. If you're going through a situation where you have to make a tough decision or a decision relatively quickly, center yourself, ground yourself, whether it's meditation, if you need to work out, whatever calms you down and kind of puts you in a place of peace, do that, because you're going to need to kind of figure out your next steps. And the best way to do that is with a clear head. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff, so you can figure out, all the latest and greatest. And you get more, obviously, readings for free. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'm going to see you next week.